Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to the 68th episode of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. Listen, if you are a regular listener and you're enjoying this podcast, please don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. It helps us show up in the podcast universe. And also share it with someone that you think may love it as well. It feels good to add value, and you never know whose life you might change. All right. Now, I was listening this last week to a podcast where Lewis Howes was speaking. Lewis, if you don't listen to his podcast, it's the School of Greatness podcast. He is phenomenal. Now, he was talking about some of our biggest fears. One of them is not being good enough, not feeling worthy. Now, I think this is a big one for most of us, or a lot of us anyway. I mean, how many of us have felt this way at one point or another? And sometimes we feel this way because someone we looked up to or someone that raised us told us if we didn't do things this way or we didn't do things that way, then we're not worthy of love or acceptance. Studies have shown that most people feel this way at some point or another, and what we do with those feelings and thoughts has a lot to do with our happiness or lack of happiness. Well, I have something to say about this. You are worthy just for being human. You are worthy not because someone else tells you you are, but because you were born. Yeah, it's that simple. You are a gift from God or the universe or whatever belief system you have. It is not an accident that you're here and that you are where you are, right where you are. If you're listening to this podcast, this message is meant for you. What is your purpose? What is your passion? What is your dream? You're worthy of that dream and you're meant for it. All right, now that that's settled, what does feeling worthy look like? How does someone that feels worthy walk around this crazy, fascinating world that we live in? Well, I'm someone who knows what it feels like to feel worthy, but also times in my life where I felt very unworthy. I can remember a time I had a minister once tell me that I wasn't worthy of having my prayers heard by God, and that he'd have to pray for me in order to have my prayers heard. Imagine that. I was probably 22 or so, and I remember the feeling of hopelessness that came with that, thinking, man, I'm not even worthy to pray. I mean, I look back now, of course, and realize how ridiculous that was for him to say it. And also how it couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's just crazy. And it is. I bet, though, you can think of things that people said that may have shaped your own worthiness. I mean, things like, you'll never be successful. You are not good enough. You aren't smart enough for that. Or you're bad because you did this or that. Now, I could go on and on with that, but I really don't want to depress us all today. This is not the purpose of this episode. But listen, everyone has a story, and some are worse than others. That's very true. But if you're listening right now, you are not your past. You are not what someone else decides you are. And because I love you and I only want what's best for you, I want you to know that your life is exactly what you make of it. Your life is your own, and no one else can do it for you. And we can hang on to those stories of our life and all the reasons we can't do something, and even some would say you're justified. Or we can decide right now that enough is enough. Okay, back to the question of what does feeling worthy look like? Well, here it goes. It looks like not settling. It looks like not tolerating toxic relationships. It looks like setting boundaries in the relationships that you do have. It looks like having a healthy relationship with food. I think that's a big one. It also looks like having an environment that you enjoy and is worthy of you. You guys, I could also go on all day about this, and that would actually probably be a good thing. But I know you have things you need to do, so let me just say this. Knowing yourself and realizing your worthiness is often a starting point for greatness for people. And it doesn't matter where you are in life. Sometimes we think it's impossible to change because we think so big. Like our dreams are super big. I tend to do that. For instance, going from 100 pounds overweight to being super fit in a month probably isn't going to happen. But you know what you can do in a month? A whole freaking lot. So yeah, dream big, super big, but set outcomes that are doable. All right? So my challenge for this week, pick an area of your life where you are done settling and decide what it would look like if it was already wildly successful. Like, what's your ultimate outcome in that area? Is it to have 18% body fat? Is it having a successful business that you love? Clarity is the goal here. I mean, you don't even have to know how it's going to happen. In fact, I encourage you not even to think about how it's going to happen. It's just clarity of the outcome. Know your outcome, and when you get that outcome, write it everywhere. Like, create a digital vision board. Put sticky notes on your mirror, on your fridge, anywhere you can see it, as an alarm on your phone even. I do that. And then sit back and watch your brain help you solve the puzzle of how you're going to do it. You'll see things pop in during the week that will help you reach that goal. You don't have to figure it out. All you need to do this week is figure out that clarity of outcome, and your brain will help you solve it. All right, guys, I know you can do this. I cannot wait to see what you come up with. I love you all, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.